Okay. I had to kind of force myself to start recording this before I just kind of wimped out and let it go, because I desperately want to not address it. And it's so weird because it's not a bad thing at all. It's purely a good thing, and yet it's difficult for me to say. So I'm in the backyard of my sister and brother-in-law's, and they've got this beautiful cabin that they're working on fixing up. And my family and I, we lived briefly in this old cabin while they were building the actual house that we were going to live in. But there was this little cabin on the property first, and so we got to live there for a little bit while we were working on the main house. Anyway, now decades later, my sister and her husband are fixing it up, and they're living here, and it's just so beautiful. And I had the thought, I was sitting here, we were all talking, and this whole place here, because I grew up here, this is it impacted how I developed and what I'm tuned to. And I was sitting here, I was looking around, I'm listening to the birds, and I'm watching the trees and how they're moving in the wind. And I just realized that I'm just living in the wrong place, and I'm not doing what I need to be doing. And it's so simple, but I just realized that I'm doing the wrong thing. If I can't look out my window or sit on my porch and see something like this and be able to be entranced by nature and really just appreciate it as it shifts and changes throughout the day and the seasons, that I need to be in a place like this and not just visiting. Like, I want to live in a place like this. And I let that part of me go, because I was trying to not, I don't know, not take too much as far as the balance between my wife and I and what we each needed. And so we came up with kind of an in-between, a compromise situation. And I'm just realizing what I actually gave up to do that. Because I'm not living in the woods like this, or surrounded by nature in some way. And it was hard for me to say that. And then I got, I'm thinking about what I'm trying to do in my life, which is right now I'm trying to get access to me, to my emotions, to what moves me. And I know that requires it requires me facing things that I actually want. And that's the scary part. Like, that's the thing that's hard to acknowledge. And so I was just about to pack up and head back to our home. And I realized that I had to say it. I had to come back. I had to come to this space and just show what I was feeling. Because I need to acknowledge that. Like, that's what I'm trying to do is look at the thing and be like, oh, that's something that's true about me and something that I want. And I'm allowed to say that. And God, I desperately didn't want to say that. I didn't want to acknowledge something that I actually wanted, even though it's very obvious that that's an okay thing. Like, it's a perfectly reasonable thing to be like, yeah, I want to live in a beautiful nature-rich area and not be surrounded by other people. Like, I'm allowed to say that, and I'm allowed to want that. But I could feel there was a part of me that wanted to hide it, especially potentially in front of the people closest to me. Like I actually didn't want to say that with them present. It's like I had to hide that part, something that was me. I had to hide that. And that's so crazy because now I'm in this process of trying to see my tendency to do things like that and explore it, attack it, you know? Because how ludicrous is that I would want to hide that I would feel it's necessary to hide what I care about, you know? Like, and you know, this isn't just about, oh, like I want to live in the woods. It's sort of like that carries over to literally everything. All of the parts that are the most me, I'm the most likely to hide away and guard and not let out, even to the people that I would say I love and trust the most. And that's wild. Where does that come from, you know? Oh, there's that again. So I forced myself to do the video real quick. I just wanted to say that out loud and not keep running away from it. It's literally harmless. And it can only make me stronger and better to be open about myself and love and accept myself. There's only good there. And so I want to do that. But I messed up not having a good connection to myself and my values, I guess, or just the parts of me that were so obvious, and yet I was like hiding them. But now I gotta figure out, you know, what to do with that. How do I go forward? You know, I'm not just me anymore. It's like I got a family and our collective decision. But it feels like I'm doing the wrong things and I'm not being me. Yeah, but this feels good to say that. And okay, we gotta go. I gotta drive home, and it's gonna be a long day. But hey, that was something, right? All right, more next time.